everyone, and welcome to episode 41 of Grave Matters, a round coffin discussion of all things horror. I'm CreepyClownGirl, and unfortunately, Filia Noctis could not be here tonight. But however, the man behind the yellow line is co-hosting with me today, as the Raven dreams. Hi, Raven.
Hello, hello. How was everybody this beautiful evening?
Yes, hello, everyone.
It's been a minute since I've been on this side.
Yes, it has, but it's always great to have you on this side. Well, let's see who we have in chat currently.
For sure. I want to say hello to, well, he was here earlier, really early. I don't know if he still is. That's Timothy Duran.
Hi, Tim.
He was there way before the show, so he may not still be here, but if he is, hey, Tim. We got the Sleeping Wendigo, of course.
Hi, Wendigo.
Of course, our one and only resident Derringer.
Hi, Derringer.
Looks like we also got Creepy Patch Kid and, let's see, Patience, of course.
Hi.
Hi, Creepy Patch Kid. Didn't mean to, I wasn't trying to skip over there, but sorry. We also got Hair Raising Narrative.
Hey, HN.
Dark Horse Tales.
Hey, DHT.
And Mr. Nightmare Edge is also here. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Edge. Hello. So, real quick before we introduce our guest, we have a few milestones to shout out. But before I do that, a huge congratulations to Bad Vibes for being remonetized. Well done, buddy. So,
yeah, that was crazy.
Wasn't it? So crazy. First of all, congratulations to everyone and your milestones. Nightmare's Edge reached 275 subscribers. The Sleeping Wendigo, 75. Dark and Grim on his channel, Dark and Grim, 30K subscribers. Yeah. Lady Nopingham, 400 subscribers.
She's also in the chat. I missed her earlier. Sorry.
Oh, hi, lady.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Possessed Radio, 900 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Congratulations.
Very nice.
Danny Dreadful, 575 subscribers and 242 reads, 650 subscribers.
Yes.
So congratulations to all of you. And if no one has yet checked out any of their channels, head on over and check them out.
Please do. And yes, congrats to everybody. Those are huge milestones. And
yes,
it's always good to celebrate the victories. So.
Yes, it is. So Raven, who do we have tonight?
Oh, thank you. You're gonna divert to me to introduce our guest. Our guest is actually a good friend of mine. Stories After Midnight. I refer to him as Sam whenever I talk about him, just because it's a good abbreviation. Hello, Mr. Midnight. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Hi, Sam. Great to have you here.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It's been a while.
You're welcome. Yes, it has. So, do we have anybody new? No? Okay. So, Sam, or Stories After Midnight, for those in the chat or those who will be watching later, could you please tell us a little bit about your channel, its content, and how you got your name?
Oh, my channel, its content, and how I got my name. Yeah, yes. So I tended to upload, well, I guess my name kind of tells you what I upload, but mainly fictional stories. And not too many true ones, but mainly fictional stories. And I got this name kind of out of the blue. I'm the least creative, especially when it comes to naming stuff. And honestly, I don't know how. I think I just had a stroke of creativity one night when I was hanging out with my friend. And it started as After Midnight videos, but I think that had been taken. And then the next suggestion that popped into my head was literally Stories After Midnight. And I was like, you know what, that sounds pretty good. And then I figured out very quickly afterward that it's hard to abbreviate it. And I just kind of became Midnight or Sam. And then here we are.
Right on.
Yeah, right on. Remember, everybody, Sam.
Yeah, it's just a good abbreviation because it's a name and it works. So
Right. And somebody brought up an interesting point the other night. I think it might even been my daughter. She goes, now, how ironic and funny would that be if his real name was Sam?
right.
That would be really weird because then I'd have the hardest time disassociating myself from my channel.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So,
get that.
yep. So they're just like, what a clever way to hide your real name in your name.
I'm just doxing myself every time I upload.
Right.
Right. Oh,
I
it was
mean,
great,
but
though.
isn't that the best way to do it though? Just hide in plain sight.
Right?
And with the internet nowadays,
No,
I'm
it's a
pretty sure
terrible
we've all
thing to do.
doxed ourselves. Oh, no, but I mean, I'm sure we've all done
Yeah.
it one way or another. Like if you've uploaded a video of yourself near or about where you live on Instagram, like good luck.
Oh, and yeah, no,
Right?
on my live streams on Sundays, I've literally asked my Google the weather, and it straight up tells everyone the city I live in. And then after I do it, I'm like, why did I do that?
You're like, well, here's my address.
Right.
Have fun. I'll be here for another 3 hours.
Right? Oh my God, no. I'll remind you the next time you go live, Raven, do not ask.
Well, in the end, some people know my first name, and most people know my first name. I'm okay with that. No one knows my last name. I think
Right.
I'm safe.
Yeah, true.
At least I convinced myself I am. Anyways,
Hi, Pam. Thank you for joining us.
oh, hey, Pam's here. Hello, Pam.
Hey, Pam.
Derringer actually wanted to know really quick: pancake or waffles? Pancakes or waffles?
Ooh. I think it depends on my mood, but I would have to. Oh, I'd probably have to lean more towards pancakes because you can do so much with them. Well, I guess
Oh,
you
I
can do a lot of
know.
things with waffles. Like you can decorate. Well, you can decorate pancakes too. Yeah, I'm gonna go with pancakes.
That's fair. It's kind of
Pancakes, fair
strange.
enough.
Anytime I stay at a hotel, if they have like the continental breakfast waffle makers, I have to have a waffle.
Oh yeah,
Yes, me
absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
I know like pancakes can be super basic, but you know what? It's all right.
Well, you could always put a fruit topping and some Cool Whip on it, Same with waffles.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. Put vanilla
Lady,
extract in that with some cinnamon. You've got yourself some Christmas pancakes.
Oh yeah.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Lady's like 100% pancakes for her.
We cannot be talking about breakfast this late at night, guys. Come on. Otherwise, I'm
Why
gonna have to
not?
brave the snow tomorrow morning and go get like pancake stuff.
Brave the
Hey,
snow. You got a lot there.
We got a foot of snow today.
Dang.
Ooh,
Right.
I'm glad it's
After
you.
me telling you that we hadn't had snow all winter, it all came today.
Yeah, I guess there's a pretty big thing going up there. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think it was 68 here, and 2 days ago it hit 83. It's like, what happened to winter again?
So complete tangent, sorry, but you said that really, and it made me think. The high yesterday was 67 degrees, and the low was 19.
Ooh,
Within 12 hours, it dropped almost 50 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Avoid the Midwest.
Oh, no problem there.
All right. So, back to the actual interview here. Sorry.
Yes.
So Sam, who or what got you into horror narrations?
Huh. Corpse husband, actually.
Common answer. Good answer though.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't remember how I stumbled onto him, but I ended up coming across one of his videos about someone like hired a hitman on himself. And I remember listening to that video and I was like, dang, this is pretty interesting. I wonder if there are more people doing this, because at work, I kind of had a knack for dramatically reading our newsletters that the mall gave our little shop. not even a little shop, like we're a sports retail store, but we'd get these like mall newsletters, and I'd be standing there with people, and I'd read it in a really dramatic kind of way, and they're like, oh my gosh, you should like do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, oh well, cool, I mean, yeah, maybe. And then hopped on YouTube for some strange reason, and somehow managed to cross Corpse Husband, listened to his content, and was like, well, maybe I'll give this a try. And then yeah, just kind of ended up here.
I got that.
And now what, 6,000 plus subscribers later? Here
Yeah,
you are.
I think it's 65.
Yeah.
It was 65 something last I checked. 6.53.
So congratulations to you on your milestone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So a question for you. That's a good answer, by the way. So glad you're here. Guys, please, if you haven't yet, go check out Stories After Midnight.
Yes.
His links are in the description.
Yep. And
but a question for you. Yes, and pinned up above. So Sam, for new and upcoming narrators, what is some good advice that you would give them to help them on their journey?
I actually remember, I think one of the biggest things, I don't know if I told you, I think I was talking to you, Raven, about just not looking at your metrics.
Yes.
That was huge for me, because YouTube, I find, is very much luck of the draw half the time. Like if you can nail SEO and do all those things right, and you've got the right content, I think you can skew it in your favor. But I find it to be a lot of luck, and I found myself kind of being drawn to my statistics and to my analytics, and being like, oh, I just upload this video. Am I at a bajillion subscribers yet? And once you, like, if you keep really looking at that, you'll find yourself being, well, at least me, super discouraged, because you're like, oh, this video is not really doing that great. So for new narrators, the one thing I would definitely recommend is don't get attached to your analytics at all. I wouldn't even look at them, maybe more than once a week. And that will, I think, protect your drive, at least during the times where your videos might not be doing so well. I find that you can easily get discouraged. So if you're just focusing on the content that you create and making relationships on, in Twitter and Reddit, wherever you find the community, everything else will just come naturally. Keep perfecting your craft, keep figuring out how to be an effective narrator, find your cadence, find your voice. Like, there's a lot of things you can do, and I think we could like sit here forever and talk about stuff like that. But
absolutely,
the number one thing I would suggest is don't download the YouTube Studio app. Just log in, make it hard for yourself to check those analytics, at least for a good while.
Makes
Good
sense.
Advice.
Yeah, no,
yes,
it's
it does.
Super easy to get obsessed with those numbers. It is super easy.
Oh, it is.
I always say slow and steady wins the race, and it should be quality over quantity. So
for sure. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It's just I completely agree with that, and yeah, it is easy to get obsessed with them. It's especially whenever you look at a video and it's like 1 of 10, and you're like, ooh, let's watch this for like 6 hours.
And you're like, oh, that seemed to work. I'm gonna, try and do that again. And then you go and try and do it again. It's like, 10 of 10. Actually, it's not even showing up on the list. All right.
You're right. Goodness.
You got a lot of static on your end, CCG.
Do I? How about now?
Still staticking a little bit.
How about now?
Now you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
No, you're good.
My Wi-Fi's been stuck on stupid lately.
I think a lot of people have that problem.
Right?
So, okay. So, since starting your channel and where you are now, Sam, and this obviously feel free to talk about this in as much length as you want or as much as you don't want to, but where do you see your channel going, and how do you see the future of your channel?
Ooh, yeah, good question. That's a tricky question, because about a month ago now, I came to this. Well, how do you say it? I guess everything just kind of came to a head and to the foreseeable end, I guess, but not in a way. So it kind of dodged or redirected from doing horror content. I don't know if I enunciated correctly, horror. And I'm not sure what the future will look like in that sense. I do like doing this voiceover stuff, and knowing that I have a voice for it, and the work that I've put into kind of perfecting the craft, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I would kind of hate to see things just end, but I'm not really sure where to go. I would like to keep doing this. I would like to read more, thriller, feel good stories, wholesome stories, and kind of just reimagine the channel, because I got pretty, I guess, stagnant, pretty over doing all of the horror stuff. Once you've, I think I've uploaded 370 videos, which is a crap ton of stories. And, you run into a pattern where you're like, every story is sort of sounding the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of wanted to take a break from that and pivot to something different and give it a try. So I'm kind of in the middle of stories, and I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet. I was playing with the idea of doing Wattpad stories, but as I was mentioning a little bit earlier before we went live, that could be 8 to 15 hours on average of content. And if you're doing at least like a video a week, like, man, we're talking, over a year for a story to finish. And
Wow.
so, yeah, like, because they'd be like 60 parts. And so you're reading that and you're like going on, and I worry about people, losing interest and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's a really big, I guess it's a really involved, complex question, but
It is.
yeah, I'm
It
not
is.
sure. I'm not sure where it's going to go. And I know I let a lot of people down. So I'm hoping that I can find something else to do. Actually the funniest suggestion I had someone say is, they're like, you could do like, you could read this, you could read that, you could do Bible studies. And I'm like, I mean, we're in a horror community. I mean, that would be, could you imagine though? It's like, okay, guys, I'm going to step away from the horror stories, and, why don't we crack open our Bibles to Genesis and let's take a stroll through the Bible, because why not?
You're staticky
Well,
again, really bad, CCG. Try
Okay.
not to touch your mic. Try not to touch your mic
Okay.
too much.
All right, I'm trying not to. It just keeps
I
doing
know.
its thing.
I know.
So, all right, not
But no,
touching my.
That would be well, I understand doing it. I feel like that would be a really hard pivot that some people might not be able to like stick around for that and be like, look, no.
Oh no, man, I would nuke myself.
Right.
If I did that, I'd be nuking it. There would be no coming back from that. That would be hilarious. Like, I've kind of wanted to try it just for kicks, but then again, people, like my content, so I'm not sure if I just wanted to completely ostracize my community and be like, hey, YOLO, look,
So
we're going over here now.
That would be your nuclear option, basically. I'm completely done and never want to look at this name again.
Yeah, my headspace is bad if I upload anything like that to a horror channel.
Okay. So
Like,
if
as
that
soon as you
happens,
see that video, you're like, oh, I gotta go check in on him.
yeah, if that happens, you're going to be getting a message on Twitter.
Yeah, that will be my like my help signal, my signal that I need help.
Gotcha. Good to know. Okay, that is that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll kind of see what the future holds. I'm really hoping that I can come across a subreddit that has more wholesome stuff. I'd like to bring a little bit more joy to this community, some more touching stories, make people, feel all the feels. But yeah, I guess we'll see is the only thing I can really say.
Well, if anyone in chat or who stops by to watch this video, you have any wholesome stories that you think Sam would be interested in narrating, send it to him. We'd like to keep him around a little bit longer.
Well, yeah, thank you. I would appreciate those kinds of stories. Yeah.
Just no Bible.
Yeah, I'll keep that in the back of my mind.
So speaking of, I believe you said something about Reddit, Raven.
Yeah. Okay. I'll pop in here. So, Sam, you run a fantastic site called Redx. And any narrators that are listening right now should probably pay a little extra attention because Redx is a fantastic tool that I will let Sam describe, so I'm not stealing the thunder.
Okay. Yeah. So not to like toot my own horn.
Toot
so
away, man.
I created.
Please toot away.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let it rip.
Okay.
A couple years ago, I created this little tool because I got really, really tired of going to Reddit, trying to find the stories, and I'm sure every single new narrator can relate, where you're just like trying to find a good story to read, and then you got to go through the process of like messaging that person and how you're gonna like approach them and what's your subject gonna be, and once you're done doing that, you need to do it about 60,000 more times because you need more than just one story.
Right.
And so I created Redx as just basically a way to take what normally would be like 3 minutes worth of work or more into a matter of seconds. And it's really keyed towards narrators that grab or narrators that find their stories on Reddit. Right. And straight up, not even trying to toot my own horn, but like, or do any like, marketing stuff. It's going to save you so much time. That's just, straight up. It's going to save you so much time. That's pretty much it. Like there's got a bunch of things to it and you can check it out, like all the features and whatnot. But yeah, I think you'll definitely like it.
Yeah.
Links are pinned in this chat and in description.
I also added Redx again as a link. And just to say, as a user testimony, I've been using Redx for almost a year, and I'd say probably close to a year and a half, almost 2 years now, which is good because I've only been doing this for about 2 years. Like the minute that he and I started talking and he mentioned that he created it, I signed up for an account on it. And I've been using it ever since. It is my go-to because I have very specific things I look for in stories, specifically how long the story is. And yeah, it is a great tool. And if you are a narrator, I highly recommend looking at it, trying it out, and just seeing if it's for you, because it makes things so much faster.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like the one feature I use the most is like trying to figure out lengths of stories. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I need to like put together a video and I want it to be a certain length. And I could just like see all the stories. Like this is going to take you 25 minutes to read. I'm like, perfect. There's one story, one video.
Right. Well, and again, I know I'm tangenting here, but like whenever I do my glitch stories on Mondays, there are so many posts on that subreddit that are literally 2 sentences long. And if I were to just go to Reddit and just click through them, it would take me so long. So just having it Redx, dialing it on that subreddit, filtering by anything over 3 minutes. Yeah. There's no comparing it to doing manual search.
No. It just changes the game, 100%.
Yeah.
So, guys, gals, grave robbers, be sure to check it out.
Right on.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. That's it seems like a really awesome tool. I think it's something that a lot of narrators, new or, already established, should take a look at. I'll have to get the link and tweet it out on Twitter.
For sure. Yeah, he also runs the RedX Twitter account too, so.
Oh shoot! Well,
I try to retweet him as much as I can there too, so.
right.
You're like my
Just,
right-hand man. Like, I know if I tweet something, like the Raven's just gonna come in and boom, smash that retweet button. And every time it does, like, smile inside and outside, actually.
It's almost like I have notifications on.
Almost.
If you can send me both those links in DM on Discord, Sam, I'll go and follow your Reddit Twitter, and I will make sure to help promote your Reddit as much as I can.
Thank you. I will definitely do that.
You're welcome.
Sure.
So,
All right, so that was our RedX segment there. So, did you want to ask the next one, CCG? I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get this one done. So, Sam, you've been a bad boy. You're now on death row. What would your last meal be, and what would your method of execution be?
Last meal.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. That could be anywhere from Popeye's chicken to stuffed crust pizza.
Yes.
You know what?
Okay.
Together. Yeah,
Yeah,
on top of
oh.
one another.
There you
Popeye stuffed
go.
crust pizza.
Oh.
2 stuffed crust pizzas, like flipped and put smack dab on top of each other with Popeye's chicken in between, smothered in sauce.
Oh.
Yes.
In
Damn.
theory, it sounds great, but who knows? I think I'd probably do that. And then I'd probably just give me an injection, let me go to sleep. You know, yeah, just put me to sleep. I know there's only 2 ways of doing it, or just make me really, really cold, so that I can get ultimately really, really warm, and then just fall asleep anyway. I think that's my final answer.
I like
That's I like it. I do too. Never had that method of dying before.
Yeah, I like the cryogenic execution. I think
Yes.
I think you would be the
Yes.
first cryogenic execution in that case.
Right, you would be.
And then they would
Yeah,
bring you
because
back to
it's
life
so
10 years
rapid.
later.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to be on the Enterprise and no other ship, okay? Thank you. Just kidding.
Patience said that her stomach says that sounds fantastic, but her heart is yelling at her. With the
Oh, yeah,
Popeye's pizza.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She also actually had a question for you. So, do you have any rituals or exercises that you do before you start narrating or putting together a video or working on RedX as it is? Like eating, drinking, doing something specific?
Yeah, so if I'm just like sitting down to read a story, I'll typically just have like a glass of water. I try to keep it room temperature.
Mhm.
And then just depending on actually depending on if I've talked a lot during the day or not, I might do a little bit of like vocal warm-ups just to like stretch my throat, stretch my vocal cords. And that's pretty much it. I've never in my entire YouTube career read a story before actually reading it. I cold read every single time. And so I don't really have an extensive regimen. Like I just get some water, make sure I'm drinking it throughout the story, but just sit down and literally just read. I usually have like a theme in my head. I'm like, I kind of want to make it sound this way, or the title of this story, or the first few sentences make a story feel like this sort of theme. So I try to consider that right at the beginning as I'm getting ready. But yeah, there's not too much to it.
Fair enough.
Good answer. Wow.
I will interject mine a little bit. Mine typical ritual is brushing my teeth before I start.
What?
No, like before I start, I brush my teeth. Like I will go to the bathroom and brush my teeth to get like any plaque buildup or blah out of my mouth, kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. You got to combat those lip smacks.
Exactly. I was just saying. That's all.
Oh, God.
Hey, oral hygiene is important, and most people don't take it as serious as they should.
Yes, I
until you
agree.
get that gingivitis.
Or until you're like me and break a tooth and have to have a crown put in, and it's hell. Anyway, sorry.
Oof.
That's personal life
Sure.
stuff. I'm not going to go there. Anyway.
You're fine. So, do you have a question for Sam Raven?
Yeah, I'll drop the next one. Let's see. When it comes to your narration styles, what would you say are your biggest strengths and weaknesses?
Well, when I first started out, it was pretty much everything was my weakness, except for I have a deep voice, and I think that's what carried me for a long time. I would say that my strength is being able to be captivating. I've never heard anyone say, "Dang, you were boring," unless it's like one of my very first videos. But I think I'd like to think that I can do just overall a good storytelling with my cadence, with my pauses, and being overall pleasant to listen to. I think one of the things that I tried to work on, which would correlate to my weakness, is doing different characters. And that's something that I've tried to work on. So, well, the one thing I tried to work on. And I think that's pretty much the only thing that I can really pick at this point in time. I've kind of, I think, addressed a lot of things thanks to YouTube comments, as mean or nice as they were, they helped. But yeah, I think that's it.
If I can be quite honest, what attracted me to your channel was actually your voice.
Yes.
Oh, definitely your voice.
Yeah.
And it surprises me every time. I listen to myself and I'm like, man, I've got like this Canadian accent. I can sometimes have trouble, I get yelled at for mispronouncing words. Like, well, people like it, I guess.
Hey, that's what makes it unique, So you have an amazing voice.
You really do.
Thank you.
I was actually mentioning this to Patience a few moments ago. Like, listening to you talk, like I've listened to your videos. You and I haven't actually spoken in like this prior to this. So listening just to you talk, you kind of have a tone somewhere in between, honestly, a mix between of like Your Maker and Southern Cannibal.
Thank you.
You really do have like a mix between those
really
two tones, and it is perfect. Like I love both those narrators. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Of course.
You're welcome. Oh, excuse me.
CCG? Oh, you can't start yawning now. You can't start yawning already. We got another 20 to 30 minutes to go. Come on now.
You're gonna start making me yawn.
Right?
Sorry. I forgot to get my coffee.
I am drinking coffee, and you're going to make me yawn while I'm drinking coffee. Do you know how much it's going to confuse my brain?
Do you know how contradictory that is?
Well, I forgot to get my coffee. So my question for you, Sam, is you are writing an autobiography. What chapter in that autobiography would you use to sell it?
Geez, I guess I'd just be selling a part of my life.
Yeah.
What I would choose to like put as the forefront, like buy this book because of this.
Yeah. So like what?
Yes.
Like someone was like, "All right, give me a copy print of one of your chapters of your autobiography to sell to everybody, or to sell the book to everybody." What would you use to sell it?
Oh, that is a tough question.
Yes.
You're
welcome.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
You're welcome.
We're not here to throw softballs, buddy. I lied to you. This isn't all fun and games. This is serious. We need your social security number, your home. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking way too hard for 9:45 at night. Oh, geez. I guess, I don't know. See, I've got a very plain lifestyle, I guess. Was never like a bad boy or anything like that, or was this goody two shoes, as some kids would say. And so I don't have like, hey man, when I was 7, I killed like 30 people with a rusty spoon. And then I got sent to Guantanamo Bay where I lived for about 3 days until I escaped on the back of a shark. You know, I've got like nothing like that. So I guess my selling point would be I try to like I try to I try to push everyone to be their best, essentially.
Sure. Yeah, you're killing CCG here. Good job.
I know I might need to take a breather.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to go find the rusty spoon. It's gonna be 31.
I just have this image of you in swim trunks, no shirt, a life jacket, and you're on the back of a shark.
Just singing Baby Shark.
That's
And the
nope, I'm out.
and the thing is, I've never seen your face, so all I see is your yellow icon attached to this body.
Oh, it's just my
It's a
avatar just floating
sentient
around on a
moon.
shark. Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so I never had like, you know, there'd be no action chapter or anything like that, but I definitely try to push people to be their best. Just in everything. When people come to me for advice and whatnot, whether it be for the channel or for kind of anything in general, I try to give them the best advice that I can in order to help them succeed. Obviously, I don't know anyone who would really try to, you know, tear someone down, but I know those people do exist. But
right.
Trying to push them to be better, trying to help them see that there's, you know, more to them than what they might think. And then ultimately, when I see people succeed, that makes me super happy. So I would probably make that my forerunner. Just that I like to
I really like that.
help people.
Yeah. I like that too.
That
That's
is
actually
amazing. Yeah.
That falls in line with what I personally know of you. I definitely agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's sometimes it can be hard, you know, especially like if you're trying to succeed at the same thing and you're seeing other people get wild success. But I know that things like that are only really just temporary inside your head, and it shouldn't change the message that you try to give. So that's when you just gotta like sort of separate your feelings and think about the other person, essentially. And that's basically it.
Exactly.
Well, and it helps having friends that can mutually succeed with you. Like you said, seeing those other people doing well and all that, but then those same people turning around trying to drag you up with them is the term I always use, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You know, it's everybody starts somewhere on YouTube. And yes, I'm going to say this. Some channels have forgotten that, but we're a community, we're a family, and when we work together, you know, it helps everyone out. There's no I in team, there is only we. And you got it, you know, share it and help someone else to succeed if they're like, oh, I'm tired, I'm not going to do this anymore. You know, I work this hard and I only get this amount of subscribers. You know, just remember quality over quantity, and slow and steady wins the race. Yes. And we got you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. And you know, sometimes it can be hard to detach yourself from that, and you find yourself being like, oh, you know, look at all these other, you know, people doing really, really well at whatever they're trying to do, and then you're just like, huh, dang it.
Why isn't that me? Why don't I have what they have? Well, not everybody's the same, you know?
Exactly.
So, doesn't mean, you know, don't give up, you know. Your time will come. One day you'll be sitting at 148 subscribers, and, you know, within a year you're hitting, you know, 1K or something. Just take your time and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So Creepy Patch Kid actually asked, is there a creator that you envy?
Envy, like in terms of being like jealous of?
See, I'm curious in that as well. Like, I don't know if they mean by jealousy or if there's like someone you kind of look up to, kind of thing. Like you aspire to be like them, I guess is a better way to put that, maybe.
Envy would be more of a jealous thing, but like, is there who inspired you to be who you are and where you? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that I would envy.
So they did mean jealousy, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I would just have to be. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't envy anybody, but I guess at some basic level, because like I try to be the best at what I'm doing, or at least pretty darn good. So I would kind of be jealous of anyone who's growing faster than I am. Like, frankly, just because
Sure.
I've been doing this for 4 years and 370 videos and stuff like that. So
amazing accomplishments.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything like, geez, I hope that their channel burns down or something. Anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
But I guess on the flip side of channel, like someone that I would look up to, I'm a pretty big fan of Southern Canny. He really got me started, or not got me started, but he really introduced me to everyone way back in the day. And him and I have become pretty tight since then. Well, yeah, and he's a pretty good dude. And I'd have to say the same. Raven, you're a good dude.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but he was like the one guy that I really got to know when I first started, and someone that I try to keep in touch with. I like that guy.
Yeah.
He's a great narrator. He's got that cadence about his voice. There's some stories you can listen to or fall asleep to, and there's others like there's no way I'm going to sleep. It's like if I know I'm going to sleep, I definitely do not put Nightmare Files on. I love you, man, but hey, it's not going to happen. So
like people with like Canny and like Swamp Dweller, and Joel Let's Read to some extent. Him actually not as much, shockingly, as much as I look up to him. I really do envy Southern Cannibal for his like vocal consistency. In like every video of his you listen to, his voice kind of sounds like it's at the same level. Like he's never straining. He never seems to get sick and struggle recording.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, it was.
Yeah, there's just so many. There's so many great narrators, like just great people out there. It's hard to say one person in particular. Like it's just a great group of kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I guess I could ask the next question, which is, what is your dream collab? Which is kind of funny in this sense.
Oh yeah, good question. I guess it would have been, as cliche it might sound, but Corpse Husband, just because he's the one that kind of got me going into this stuff. And I thought, with the number of comments that I've heard about, oh my gosh, you sound just like Corpse Husband. I thought it would be, a good, full circle kind of thing.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah. But he's moved on to greater, bigger, better things. So I would. That's another tough question because it's not just like one person.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's so tough. Yeah, I'll have to think about that.
Okay.
That sounds good. So while you're thinking about that, let's see what time it is. Oh, it's already 7:50. Real quick, I'll ask the next question, and then Raven, I'll let you say the final, then Sam, and then I'll close the show. So, Sam, do you believe in the paranormal, and have you ever had any experiences?
Ooh, yes. Okay, I got to adjust in my seat. Yeah, so I do believe in the paranormal. I've believed in that ever since I was a kid. There's a lot of stuff has happened in like with my family and me as a child, but I have had my own run-ins with the spiritual stuff, with the spiritual world, and it's about when I started college. Yeah, so I guess I'd have to kind of explain my background. So I was brought up in a Christian household. My family, up to my papa and my grandpa, were Christians, and not like the Bible thumping stuff, but you know, you go to church and you know you try to live a life that reflects your values and just trying to be the best person that you can be and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the beginning of college, I was like just coming out of high school. I didn't take a year off or anything, so I was going right into it. And I was like, I just want to kind of start this off on the right foot. So I was like, all right, I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to just read it for an hour every night for the week before school starts. And I don't know what was so special about that particular week in general, but I got to it. And from the first night, the events might not be in any sort of particular order, but the first night I remember everything just kind of went really, really strange. It went downhill really fast. Every night I had issues falling asleep because I had always had this really, really strong feeling that there was someone behind me watching me. And it was so intense that I like to sleep facing the wall and on my right side. And there was just this sense that I needed to just keep checking my shoulder. And I checked it often. I remember sitting up in bed and I turn on my television because we have this channel, the Weather Channel, and it was nothing fantastic. It would just cycle through the weather, end on end, maybe a few commercials and stuff like that. But their ambient like backing track was so relaxing that I just loved having that on. Just turn down the volume, throw that on, and go to sleep to it. But I remember the first night I felt incredibly drained and just really weird in the head, like something wasn't right, just kind of like mad and upset and generally off. And so I was like, hey, I texted my buddy, I'm like, yo man, I'm feeling like really, really strange right now. Can you pray for me while I'm just trying to keep my wits about me? Mm-hmm. So I went to bed, and the next night, same sort of deal, just feeling like I can't sleep. Some nights I, for some reason, felt better sleeping on the floor. So I just tossed my pillow down on the ground, would go lay down there. And, genuinely that was okay. And I don't understand why. But I remember one morning I woke up, and if anything was going to happen, it was going to happen at 3:30 in the morning. As cliche as that is, give or take 5 minutes. And so I remember the first night I woke up because I'd been punched in my chest through my box spring mattress and the actual mattress.
Shit.
Which was so freaking weird. I remember just like waking up, right? Yeah, I was like, okay, it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm tired and I don't want to be up right now. So I was like, what the heck just happened? Because I remember almost like just 2 or 3 seconds before waking up, I can remember the feeling of just, it felt like a fist coming through and like bulging my mattress and hitting me right in the chest as I'm sleeping on my stomach. And so I woke up to that. I was like, okay, that was really uncomfortable. Don't know what that was. And I remember just like, dang, it's 3:30. Really annoyed right now. Want to sleep. Shifted over and went back to sleep. And the next night, same thing in terms of not being able to sleep. 3:30 in the morning rolls around and my bed's shaking. And as soon as I wake up, it stops. So I thought my guitar, maybe it had fallen and hit my bed because it was leaning up against my end table. I thought, okay, maybe it just like fell over, hit my bed, and and whatnot. But no, I mean, I was sitting upright. Was where I left it. And again, too tired to even care. So went back to sleep. The next night after that, I woke up at around the same time, and it felt like someone had taken a stack of like 4 or 5 like college university textbooks and dropped it on my head because I was like seeing stars and stuff. Yeah, it was really weird. It's really hard to explain, but it felt like someone just like hit your head really hard and you're like seeing stars and stuff, and there's like this congestion. And then I feel like I don't think I had a night off from that stuff, and it lasted a total of 5 days, but I can't remember if anything else happened on the 4th. But the morning that I was getting up to go to school, now mind you, like I was still continuing to like read my Bible and stuff through all of this because I kind of had an idea of what was going on. And I woke up the night or the morning of school, and I remember opening my eyes and going to get out of my bed and just hearing this deep audible sigh right beside my head.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. It was pretty wild to hear that. But after that, it was good. It was just like a really stressful, oppressive 4 nights. And after that, it's been good. So that's like just, there's been other stuff that's happened in my family and whatnot, but I'm not sure if you want me to go into those kinds of details.
If you have the time, we're enjoying this. Feel free.
Time of desire. Like, don't feel obligated to, but if you wanted to.
Yes, don't feel obligated if you wanted to.
I just don't want to bore people.
You're not boring.
You're not boring us. You're not boring the chat. Trust me, they're fine.
All right.
They're here to listen.
Well, yeah, so there was this one night where I was laying in bed, and I lived in the basement, had a sort of semi-bunk bed, and there was this window that was like kind of connected to my ceiling, like it was placed at the top of the wall because I was in the basement. And I remember there was a thunderstorm, and I was laying there in bed, and I rolled over. Love thunderstorms, so I was just staring out the window, and it was pitch black outside, and lightning flashed, saw a figure crouching in my window looking at me, and then I was freaked out, rolled over, and looked back 3 seconds later, and it was gone. That was really weird. I also remember having this one night where I woke up and I was having a seizure, but I wasn't. But I was at the same time. Like I couldn't control myself, but it wasn't anything dangerous. My whole body was shaking like vigorously, and I couldn't control it. But I can remember being able to like move my head and like move my eyes and stuff like that. And I just basically laid there while my body's just freaking out until it eventually calmed down. That was pretty scary.
What do they call that? Do they call that? What is that called, Raven?
I mean, the only similar thing I could think the only similar thing I could think of that would be like sleep paralysis, but not so much.
Thank you. That's it.
If you're actually having like a physical, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was like night terrors or something. I used to get those a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I just wake up just like vibrating like a jackhammer.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. And I guess it didn't happen to me, but it happened to my family, where my papa, when he had his house built, I guess he had some people that were living in there, and they, like, my papa moved out. I guess some people came in. This was like before I was born or around the same time. So I'm very hazy on the details, but all I know is that they found a Ouija board in one of the rooms that my dad as a kid slept in. In that room would always be about 10 degrees colder than the rest of the house. And my dad would always kind of be unsettled and whiny as a baby in there. And my papa came across a Ouija board that had been stashed away somewhere by someone. And I remember the story of him trying to throw it out, like throwing it, walking out to the garbage can, putting it in the garbage can, coming back, going about your business. And then the next day you find the Ouija board back in the place where you'd originally found it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. pretty wild. And so they eventually got rid of it. But at the same time, in the same house, they had some tenants downstairs. And I guess one of them had a pretty large, I'm not sure if it was a pornography collection stashed in the ceiling. And yeah, so without getting into too much of all that kind of stuff, like that can open up, some doors and stuff. So they think that's what contributed to when my dad was living in the apartment down there. He went to work and they had, have you guys seen those glass TV cabinets? Like,
yes.
You've got like the stand for the TV with glass doors on it. And then you've got like 2 stands on either side, like with shelving units that have glass doors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad went to work and he came back and the door to his apartment was open and the entire unit was shattered, with the glass making a line out of the apartment and up the hallway.
Damn.
And
snap.
That is crazy.
Right?
Yeah. It gives you chills every time I think about it, but that's pretty much it. Like, I'm no stranger to those things happening necessarily, but I've definitely had my run-in with those types of things.
Wow.
Obviously.
Truly creepy.
Very much
When
so.
I was 17, I watched a ghost hang himself, literally.
I don't know, that would freak me right out, that's for sure.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you were in the same room with me. He was not transparent. Contrary to most people's belief, ghosts are not transparent. Long story short, I went out to my sister's. It was attached to the house. It's an old barn-style house. And the barn was attached to the house. And it had 2 steps and turned, and I looked up into the loft. And there was a guy up there, and he was, staring at me, but he was looking through me, and I watched him put the rope around his neck and I watched him jump. I heard it all. So
wow. Well, that just basically tops everything I've seen. That creeped me out forever.
Oh, it does. It does. Am I thingy again?
No, you're fine. You sound fine.
Okay. All right, because I'm not near my microphone.
No, you sound fine. Like, now you sound fine. I think.
Okay.
We can talk about that after the fact, but okay. So as we kind of start to wrap it up here, to be respectful of schedules, I know you have to work in the morning.
Yes.
As do other people. But yeah,
yes.
I do want to ask one more question because Derringer is pushing me to ask the question. It's not a long question, just rapid fire. First thought comes out of your mind. Of the first 150 Pokemon, which ones are your favorite? Which one's your favorite?
What's a Pokemon?
Oh, well, that is an answer. Just say Gengar and accept it.
Gengar.
There you go. Bam.
Okay.
Thank you. He
Pikachu.
asked it.
I like Pikachu.
That's the first 150, so that works. He did it. He answered right, says Derringer. Okay. Oh, apparently water Pokemon is the correct answer. Never mind. All right. Well,
that's hilarious.
This has been a great time. Great interview. It was really good talking to you, Sam. Like I said, I know we've talked a lot on Twitter and just in DMs and such. But actually having this verbal conversation with you was actually quite pleasant. I appreciated it. So a huge thank you to you, of course, for being on the show tonight, man. Huge thank you to CCG for letting me be a co-host. Not something I do frequently. I'm just the button guy, yellow stripe guy, as you guys put it. But I was very happy to be here. So huge thank you to everybody in the chat that showed up, and anyone who watches later. Make sure you do check out Stories After Midnight. On both Twitter and YouTube. Check out his channel. Look forward to potentially a new direction, as you said. And if you're a narrator, redx.app is a site you need to check out. It is pinned in the chat if you're still looking. It is also in the description. Make sure you look at it. it is a fantastic tool, and I absolutely love it. So,
Oh.
Sam, any parting words?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I appreciated it. And thank you for all the people that joined in the chat. It was a really fun time, and I'm glad I could come and hear your nice, smooth voice.
My
Oh.
voice
And
is
thank
not
you,
as smooth
CCG.
while talking. My narrations are a lot smoother than my talking, I know.
I appreciate it nonetheless. And thank you, CCG, for having me as well.
You're very welcome. So everyone, first of all, thank you to everyone in chat for coming. Thank you for those who'll be watching. Again, as Raven said, his Twitter, YouTube links, and Reddit are all in the description. Raven, thank you for being a co-host tonight. Always great to have you on with me.
For sure.
Patience, thanks again. Sam, thank you for coming on tonight. Awesome interview. Very nice to sit down and finally talk to you this way. Thank you again. For those who took part in Hair Raising Narrative and I's 3-minute horror collab, that will be coming out sometime in March, so keep your eyes open for that. Join us next week as we sit down and talk to Dexter. So until then, remember, stay frightened, and if you do listen, the graves always whisper. Good night.
Good night, everybody. All right, we are good.